All right, moving over to the West Coast, California Governor Gavin Newsom says today is Liberation Day, vowing to redraw California's congressional map to fight back against President Trump and the GOP push to redistrict Texas. Newsom also stealing Trump's signature style, writing on X, quote, "Donald Taco Trump, as many call him, missed the deadline. California will now draw new, more beautiful maps. They will be historic as they will end the Trump presidency. Dems take back the House."
Gloria Romero is the former Democratic leader of the California State Senate, and she joins us now. Good morning. Thank you for joining us. Obviously,
good morning.
We have this tit for tat now, I guess, with Greg Abbott looking to add 5 seats. Now Gavin Newsom said he'll do the same thing in California. Is it that simple in California? Is it simple as Gavin Newsom wants to redistrict, so they'll do it?
Well, it's one party rule, and this is what you get when you have a very elite, out of touch with the voters, legislators, but they control all the political levers in California. So this is allegedly about redistricting. We call it Gavin mandering, and it's about fixing and rigging the maps so that basically it helps Gavin Newsom launch his anti-Trump presidential campaign. That's really what this is about. But yes, it's that easy, sadly.
There is an election involved in this in terms of putting the redistricting on a ballot in November. Is that right?
Correct. It will have to go to the ballot. What's interesting is that right now, the California legislature is on vacation, summer recess. They come back on Monday, and then within 5 days, suddenly, they are supposed to produce maps. This is sort of the ultimate, like an immaculate conception of redistricting, where within 5 days, no public hearings, no visibility, they're suddenly going to produce maps. All of this is already being penciled in backroom meetings controlled by Gavin Newsom and his cronies.
You know, real quick, I know places like Orange County have had a tremendous shift over the last maybe 10 years. We have, like, Darrell Issa now is in a different district than he represented for a long time. Is there any areas that would be a big pushback that they might be surprised? Hey, we thought we turned this blue, but it actually is a GOP candidate that wins.
Well, anything can happen, of course,
yeah.
But it comes down to a political machine. It comes down to muscle and money. And Gavin Newsom, make no doubt about it, this is his vanity launch. He is running for president on the taxpayer dime, trying to jig up the maps, basically. So let's see what happens. Many of us will go out and oppose this, but it all comes down to the role of the media. How is this depicted? And basically, we've already seen with ballot harvesting, mail-in ballots, phony elections already. Basically, the nation is seeing what happens under the so-called party of democracy when all the rules are thrown out and redrawn in order to basically boost the presidential aspirations of an egomaniac leading California.
Yeah, well, Texas is going for 5 Republican seats. It looks like California is going to be going for 5 Democrat seats to negate what Texas is doing. The map hasn't been released yet, so we will be watching to see what happens when it does. We also want to ask you about Zohran Mamdani in New York, a member of the party that you used to be a part of. Yesterday, he was in Staten Island, which is total Trump country. It went plus 30 for Trump this past election, but he is on an anti-Trump tour, and he made these comments about immigration. Listen here.
So on this tour across New York City, each and every borough, as we stand against the Trump administration's attacks on the very fabric of the place we call home, we also lay out what our vision will look like. It is not enough to fight against authoritarianism. What are you also fighting for? We are fighting to keep this city a sanctuary city.
Okay, so that's what it sounded like. There were also protests and boos because, like I said, this is a Trump-friendly portion of New York City. But as somebody that does have real insight into the Democrat Party, how do you view Mamdani? Do you think that most Democrats, and I understand that the party is a big tent, so there's a lot of different perspectives, but overall, do you think that they view the rise of Mamdani with concern? Are they enthusiastic about what he might bring to the party? Right now, there is an ad out targeting 25 vulnerable Democrats that Republicans just released, trying to tie those Democrats to him. So what are your thoughts on him overall?
Well, I never met him. I was unaware of him when I switched my party. But basically, this is what we mainstream Democrats have seen, that the Democratic Party has become a party of the extreme left, of wokeism, of the Democratic Socialists of America, basically having taken over the Democratic Party. So I'm not surprised to see this happening in New York. Increasingly, this is occurring in California at the local levels. Even here in Los Angeles, there are already plans being made to implement ranked check, voting, so that basically you can have these kind of very extreme candidates take over with only a handful of votes. But I think even more importantly, it shows the fracture of the Democratic Party. There is no leader within the Democratic Party. And when there's a void, these extreme voices are going to take over. And that's what we're seeing in New York. Once again, I don't see how the Democratic Party comes back. It will continue to descend into chaos and these types of reactions. Maybe Mamdani will win, but ultimately, I think the city will fail because of his leadership.
Wow, yeah. When there's a void in leadership, the extreme voices take over. That's an interesting point to note there. Gloria, thank you so much for joining us. Former California Senate Leader Gloria Romero, we appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thanks.
I'm Steve Ducey.
I'm Brian Kilmeade.
And I'm Ainsley Earhart. And click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis.